So she's known for playing horror games. Her streams are always so fun to watch. Her channel is considered one of my safe spaces to hang out in. She's known as AGamerMom00 on Twitch, and whether she's playing solo or with others, mostly family members, it's always thrilling and always a blast to watch her streams. As I said, please welcome and give a warm welcome to GamerMom.
Hello.
Today we are going to talk about gaming, as well as being a mom, her Twitch journey, and some really deep topics in segment 4. So I hope you enjoy this episode. So the first thing I ask always is, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty all right today. I had some issues sleeping, but once I got to sleep, I slept. So there we go.
I reckon it's insomnia as well.
Just my stomach was upset, so I didn't get to sleep until really late. And then I also had something I thought I needed to do very early this morning. So when I looked at the clock and it was nearly 2 and my alarm was set for 2, I just went, I guess I'm staying up past 4.
Yeah. So does this happen very often, very frequently? Like you sleep at some point, then you wake up, then you don't feel like going back to bed?
Oh, once I'm awake, I'm awake. Like when I did get to sleep, it was nearly 5. And then I woke up at 8:30 and I've been up since because once I'm awake, I'm just awake.
Yeah, kind of
Fridays.
Here, same here.
Yeah, Fridays are kind of my tough days because every other day my alarm is set for 3:30 in the morning so I can get up at work. But on Fridays, I get up at 2.
Yeah, but it's also, there's a weird thing that I notice about myself is sometimes I set an alarm, let's say I have a dentist at 11. My body tends to wake up like an hour or half an hour before. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, and it's frustrating because if I try to go back to sleep, I will not wake up to the alarm after, so then I'm just up.
So can you tell me about how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and a little bit about the channel?
With Twitch, my first foray into Twitch, I actually went over because I am a fan of Markiplier, Bob, and Wade.
Oh, wow.
And Wade only streams over on Twitch. So I joined Twitch to watch Wade.
I don't know who Wade is. I know Markiplier. I know Jacksepticeye. Actually, one of my favorite streamers is friends with Jacksepticeye, or as he calls him, Jack Spadicy. Call me Kevin.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, call me Kevin.
Oh, I know them. I've watched Jack play with the boys before. So Jack and Mark. Jack's my favorite, for sure. I think like number 1 space is Jacksepticeye. This was the first year I missed Thankmas, which I normally do every year, because of my health. But I'll do it again next year.
Health comes first. Self-care comes first, you know. How long ago was it when you started, by the way?
On Twitch?
Yes.
What year is it now? 2025? Like 3.5, 4 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing YouTube about a year longer.
Yeah, and where did you find it kind of like easier, not only profit-wise, like where did you find it easier to stream, like which platform?
It's quicker entry into earning money on Twitch, so I'm currently only streaming on Twitch. When I can hit the 500 subscriber mark where you need to be to get like the donations through chat and stuff on YouTube, I'll be double streaming to both. But at this point, there's really no point in streaming on YouTube, so I just do, videos and shorts on YouTube.
Yeah, there's also, isn't there like a threshold for like the amount of like watch hours and probably like views on videos or something to be monetized?
On YouTube, yes, it's watch time and subscribers.
Yeah, because currently I kind of like, I went over the 500 and I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, well, What do you know? I need this and I need that. Well, if it happens, it happens.
I'm at 323 for subscribers on YouTube at the moment, which I was only at like 250 something at the beginning of last year.
Nice.
So this has been a phenomenal year for growth for me on YouTube.
Nice. Do you post shorts of you gaming, or for example, like you give life tips or something?
It's a full gaming channel. For the first channel. I have also got a second one that I had to drop when my health went down, but I will be picking it back up once I regain my strength. And that one I do fictional horror deep dives.
Okay. So you play a game or something, or do you read books? I don't know what horror deep dives are.
Video essays, basically. I research and then talk about a topic on the second channel. On the first channel, it's just a Let's Play channel.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I need to check that out. But I have another question. Where did the name AGamerMom00, like where did the 00 come from?
Oh, the 00 is actually a family thing that comes from the kids' father.
Oh.
Who I'm not with anymore. But like, he's used 00 at the end of all of his usernames since I first met him. And then I started doing the same after I started dating him, and have just kind of kept it up, especially when like AGamerMom was taken.
Yeah.
So I just threw the 00 on there so I could still use the name that I wanted. But, you know, not only am I a mom who games, I am also the mom of a massive gamer, which would be my son.
Yeah, we will also talk about that. So since you mention it now, your kids join you sometimes on games too. Has any of them ever thought about streaming someday?
My oldest does.
Oh.
It's a Dark One base chop.
00. I tried making it Dark One chop.
I think it's connected to my gaming channel.
Dark One chops. Really? What's the username again?
I'm pretty sure it's Dark One space chop 00.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
that's my boy. My youngest doesn't have a YouTube channel yet, although they are allowed to as long as they use a PNG tuber or a VTuber. They're femborn, so I'm less comfortable with them being on screen at this point because they're just barely old enough to be on YouTube.
Fair enough, yeah. Because also when you did your Halloween stream, they appeared on your stream, but they were wearing masks at the time, right?
Yes.
When you were doing the pumpkin carving, yeah.
Yep. The youngest one has to wear. That was the one requirement. I was like, you can be on stream and you can be on stream as long as you want, but you have to keep your mask on. My oldest can be on screen maskless whenever he wants, because like I said, he already has like videos and streams over on YouTube and all that stuff on his own already.
Yeah. So do you remember what was the first game you ever streamed?
Ooh, the first Phasmophobia.
Okay.
No, that wasn't the first game I streamed.
I'm pretty sure it's Sub.
What?
Pretty sure it's Subnautica.
No, I played Sub first, but I believe it was Phasmophobia.
I don't think it was.
Phasma was my main for first 3 years.
Okay.
I'm gonna check your channel real quick.
So.
Check your channel and actually message you which one. I don't care.
Okay. So as I said, you do mostly sometimes variety, like you go away from you veer away from your horror games. What are the games you enjoy the most, either streaming or offline playing?
Offline playing, I tend to try to not touch any of the games that I stream, just because I want those to be either on stream or on camera at some point. If I'm doing it just for myself, I don't want to do that, so I'll play games that I'm not likely to put onto YouTube, which means that I wind up with a lot of comfy games off stream.
Yeah,
I play Harvest Moon, YouTuber's Life, stuff that nobody else would normally ever expect me to play. on stream, it's survival, horror, and horror.
Yeah. So you're a fond lover of horror games. When I came across your streams for the first time, I think you were playing one of the Resident Evil games, I think?
Oh, quite possibly. I was desperately wanted to play Village because I fell in love with that game watching some of my friends on Twitch play it. And but didn't want to play that unless I had played the entire storyline, so I played 7 first, because that's like Ethan and Mia's full story is 7, 8, and then I need to get the DLC and play Rose's part.
Yeah, but are you gonna go through and play them all, even Resident Evil 0 at some point?
Probably not all of them, although I may go and hit 4, because that's the other one I've got the highest interest level in. I'm not generally a shooter player. I don't play a lot of shooter games.
Yeah.
So, like, I've played those 2 Resident Evils. I've played Control, which is only partially a shooter because they give you a lot of other cool telekinetic abilities. And then I've played Lovecraft's Untold Stories, which is the third-person shooter.
Yeah, and at some point are you gonna play the Alan Wake series, because the Alan Wake series is linked to Control. Yeah.
I might. It depends on like what I can afford, because I don't have a lot of money. So most of the time it's either gifts that I've been given game-wise, because my brother and my cousin buy me a lot of games, or like on the rare occasion that I have money, then I have to choose like what 1 or 2 games I want to buy, and it's often dictated on, okay, what's doing well on YouTube right now.
Yeah. So what games you would never see yourself playing? I know you said like shooter games, but is there any other game types that you would never play?
Won't play rhythm games, and I have a very hard time with parkour, although I have been willing to give those a shot, but I will not play rhythm games.
Yeah, so parkour, you've seen Dying Light, I'm pretty sure.
Bits and pieces probably,
yeah.
But normally if I'm watching somebody play a game that I'm not all that interested in, I'm focused on the chat and the stream and very little on the game, or on the streamer and the chat.
Same.
So
honestly, same. Like, going back to when you said Resident Evil 4, my mind went to like, oh god, no, Ashley, she is hella annoying. Like, Leon, help! I'm like, please shut up. Please shut the hell up. Like,
I have had characters in games, but the game that I'm playing with my brother and my cousin right now have a couple of the most annoying characters ever, and the boys have decided that I'm the one who's voicing everything. So then I have to like read out their words, and it's so hard to just read the words and not be like, oh god, shut up, just shut up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen my friend play those games, like a few friends. One of them was like trying to fight a monster, and he was like, well, can you shut the hell up, Ashley? And then he turns and shoots her, and then it fails him. I was like, well,
I'm generally more patient with like somebody who's constantly screaming for help isn't going to annoy me nearly as much as like some stubborn, conceited jerk on the screen.
Yeah.
It's the stubborn, conceited ones that I'm like, oh, just shut the hell up. Just stop.
I feel what you're saying, because last time when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, there was this enemy at the end point, one of the end worlds, where there's a character called Riku. You have to fight that. The enemies are called Heartless, so you have to fight him, and he keeps hovering over, and like, I went through that loop in 7 of the Disney worlds, and I was like, please, can we stop that? I've had enough of him.
Can we have no more of that specific character, please?
And then came the end boss, which was even more annoying, and I said those words. I didn't say the actual word. I said, well, you're a big see you next Tuesday. That's what I said on stream. I didn't say the actual word. Yeah, I was like, I've had enough. And then when I played it last night, I was like, well, I thought, like, because my friend told me, like, you need something called the Ultima weapon, which is a keyblade that just is overpowered. And I was like, well, guess what? I finished the game without it.
Oh, nice.
I was like, well, why didn't I do that on stream? I didn't know or think it would end. But I'm not going near that game, even though I love it. I'm not going anywhere near it anytime soon.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed the Resident Evil games, but I'm also not going to be playing them again anytime soon, because shooter.
I've never played any of them.
Even though I did remarkably well. Like, I kept saying at the beginning, when I first started playing 7, I was like, this is going to be so hard, because I cannot shoot on a mouse and keyboard worth shit. And then I just, like, powered through the game, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I feel like I have better aim on mouse and keyboard, because, like, on controller you have to turn the joystick and aim, where the mouse is, like, just swift and slick.
Mine is that I have never really used a controller either. It was always like, do you remember, you're probably too young for this, but the Super Nintendo used to have like an actual, like gun controller.
I do
that you
remember
could set
that.
the controller up into, and I would use that in, like my dad and I used to play like Duck Hunt.
Yep,
and
I remember
like
that.
the carnival games and stuff. So I would play those with him, got really good with that, and somehow that managed to actually like go over into I'm really good with an actual gun.
Actually, fun fact, my very first console, now that I'm thinking about it, was a Sega, one of those cartridge ones, and I think Duck Hunt came with them, and I was like, well, shoot, I kept shooting everywhere, and I shot the dog one time. What are your limits regarding your streams? Like, what probably would piss you off in chat? What's the big no-no? What words are allowed? What behavior is allowed? What isn't?
My big thing is just respect each other. And it's more like each other. Like, I am more worried about everybody else feeling comfortable in chat. I've had people come in and say weird things to me, and I'm just like, all right, dude, whatever. And I literally just ignore it and keep going.
Yeah.
But as soon as they start like targeting anybody in my chat, especially any of my regulars, and specifically the kids, that's like the quickest way to piss me off. If you say anything, if anybody says anything towards Chop Chop, Gemic, or Az in my chat that's not above board, I will instantly just shut it down.
Yeah. Speaking of this, one funny thing I remember one time is like, I think maybe one of your kids or someone, like one of your mods, was like, stop swearing or something. It was so hilarious. You were like swearing a lot and stuff.
Yes, and the funny thing is that all of the kids, and it's only the kids, because there's my two, Azriel, who's like my main mod and basically another adopted child, and then one of Chop Chop's friends, Mike. The four of them are the ones who scold me for swearing, but all of them will swear.
So, how many hours per day or week in general do you spend on Twitch? Like, not only streaming?
Not as much as I used to, just because I haven't been feeling well. It used to be that I would network on Twitch for a couple of hours a day, and then also stream. And I used to stream 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. So it was like 20 hours there, plus, another 14. So a good 35 hours just on Twitch, and that's not counting the work I do for YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so the final question in this segment is, to the new people out there who are listening and probably are, like, just started streaming or are maybe thinking about it, what is one advice you want to give them?
Consistency. And it doesn't have to be like a lot of consistency. I was trying to do it daily, but it doesn't need to be that. Just make sure that the people that start to watch you know when to watch you, so they know when to come find you, and it's easier for them to bring people with them.
And I must add to that as well, like, at some point I started like experimenting with stuff, even though people told me like, don't mind or don't even get bothered by the viewer count. But at some point I did a study, so I put the viewer count in front of me, and I noticed it go up and down. And then I linked it up to something called, probably, I've said it before, but It's probably called sleeper viewers, whereas they got traded into a channel initially. They have it tabbed, and then when that channel, sometimes like if you're using Microsoft Edge or Chrome or those, one of these, I'm not sure which one, but I'm pretty sure because I use Edge. Sometimes if the tab has a little bit of silence or buffers or anything, it tends to do that. It sleeps it. So you get carried over from channel to channel. That's what's called a sleeper viewer or a sleeper lurker, because their tab didn't actually refresh. And that's why sometimes when you get, let's say, a rate of 10, and then you go back down to 2, and then you go back up to 6, that's like those 4 that's lost, like 7, 8, 9, 10, those are probably the sleeper viewers. Like their tab didn't refresh or anything. So I've done that research. I've linked everything up. This is segment 2, which is kind of like a lightning round / pop quiz, like general questions. Do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Probably something you always do. Let's say maybe you have to have coffee every day, for example. Maybe it's a new thing that's become regular now.
Coffee's a big one. I generally wind up needing at least a pot of coffee a day. I just drink it all the way through the day because I have fibromyalgia, which significantly affects my energy. But I also have to make sure to roll into getting stuff done as quickly as possible in the morning to get my motivation going.
Yeah, since you mentioned fibromyalgia, sadly enough, my aunt was in an accident last year or the year before, and she is suffering from that recently.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's like nerve damage.
In a way, yeah,
Kind of.
but it can also it can be triggered by emotional things as well, which is what mine was back in 2005.
Oh wow. Yeah. So if you were ever to be any object, or let's say creature, that creature being real or fictional, what would you be and why?
A griffin, because they're cool.
Okay,
The griffin's my favorite fantastical creature.
nice. I would probably be a Toonie Pegasus, which is a unicorn with 2 horns on top of each other and wings.
Cute.
Yeah. So if you could stay one age forever, what age would you choose and why?
35, because that was when life finally got calm.
Okay. So what's...
Otherwise, I'd have to go down to like a way young age, and I don't remember those ages.
Okay. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Rudeness.
Okay.
And I mean, like, true, actual, mean rudeness is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, mine comes across or like comes off as like 2 parts. Probably like miscommunication that sometimes can lead to a person lying to you, just so they think that they're being protective of you, but it ends up affecting you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
Pause.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What is one thing or person you cannot live without?
My brother.
Okay. What's one of your comfort off-stream games?
Harvest Moon.
Okay. What's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games?
My kids.
Okay. What are your favorite hobbies, or some of your favorite hobbies?
Like besides gaming, I am a huge music fan.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned this, the next question is kind of has a music topic in it. It's 3-part. So what's one of your all-time favorite songs?
There's way too many. I like way too... Sound of Silence.
Okay, by who?
I mean, the first person I heard do it was Simon and Garfunkel, but I prefer Disturbed's version.
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel, well, I've heard their work or his work. I don't know if it's a band or anything because like we play a shit ton of songs at work and my brain came to a point where like, oh, okay, I know this one. I don't know if they're a band, a duo, a duet, or a trio or whatever, or a one-man show.
Simon and Garfunkel were a duet, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so what's one of your all-time favorite movies?
Ghost Ship.
Nice. Mine would be Lila and Eve. It's a Jennifer Lopez movie, and it has a mid review on IMDb, like 5 out of 10. But if you look at it, first it's like a crime action movie, and I hate action. That can probably tell you a little bit about how good it is. It's about a grieving mother that loses her son to a shooting, and she joins what's it called, like those grieving moms or grieving parents group therapy or something,
right?
And she thinks, emphasis on thinks, she meets a woman there that's also grieving, played by Jennifer Lopez, and then Jennifer tells her, or Eve tells her, to just like go take revenge. You can't stay like that. And Lila starts doing that. In the end, it was all her imagination. Like, Eve isn't there. She was imagining her because of the trauma. And she did that all by herself. Like, we see at some point her going, like when she was arrested for killing that guy who shot her son, they interrogated her and they were like, we didn't see a woman back then, because they asked the people that were with her at the therapy circle. She was imagining it all. So that was a huge plot twist. That was what got me gripped and hooked.
For a fun plot twist, let's see.
You're a bit far now. Your microphone is a bit far.
I was saying, for a good plot twist, The Sixth Sense was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, your microphone is still a bit far.
That's because I'm not sitting at my computer.
Oh.
Is this better?
Yeah, sorry.
That's alright. I'm just waiting for my coffee to fully go.
Okay.
And I need more coffee. And then...
Okay, so the final one is, what's one of your all-time favorite TV shows or series?
I don't actually watch TV. And I haven't actually started this specific series, but Markiplier has a series on Amazon.
Okay.
That is called, I think it's The Edge of Sleep or something like that, which is it sounds almost like it's, what's that Christian movie where, like, people just disappeared?
I know
Lost
you mentioned,
or something.
Is it a series? Because Lost starts with a plane crash.
A different Lost, I think.
Oh.
So it's something similar to that, but it's this Christian. Anyway, Marx is basically on the premise of a bunch of guards who were on the overnight shift, who, when they get done with work and leave, find that everybody who had been asleep has just disappeared, vanished off the face of the planet.
Oh, is that part of the YouTube originals? Because YouTube at some point started doing its own series?
No, this one, I believe, at the moment at least, is specifically on Amazon. It's an Amazon Prime thing at the moment.
Okay. So if your life was ever to be a video game or a song, what would it be named and why?
Probably Pain and Redemption. And for the why, I've been through a hell of a lot, but I've finally gotten through the worst of it, so...
That sounds like a pretty darn awesome name, honestly. Mine would be either dot dot dot, like three dots, WTF, or what now? One of these three. So what would you do with $1 million?
Invest it, and
Okay.
then live off of the dividends.
Yeah. So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
I would want to be able to go invisible so that I could do good deeds without anybody actually seeing me do them.
Oh, cool. Mine would be probably teleportation.
That would also be fun.
Yep. Which of these three things would you give up if you ever had to? Money, gaming, or love?
Money. I don't have any anyways, and I've been living a perfectly okay life now that there's less pain and suffering. So I don't need money.
That's good. Something you always wanted to learn, but you didn't find time for.
Piano.
Nice. Nice.
Other musical things.
Nice. So let's say you were given the chance to switch lives with a celebrity. Doesn't have to be like one of the big names from today. Which celebrity would you pick and why for one day only?
I have no idea.
We can skip that. I don't mind. Yeah, we can skip that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your biggest insecurity?
Upsetting or hurting other people. I have
Yeah.
a weird. I'm a massive extrovert, but I've got a weird social anxiety aspect where I'm always highly, highly aware of how other people are feeling and reacting to me.
Same. At some point, this kind of like, probably that's what I'm gonna say now is something you quite don't know about me yet, but I feel at some point I have a sixth sense, whereas like sometimes I could feel stuff happen before they do. I don't have any control over that, and sometimes that veers over to like when I know the psychology of the person in front of me. Like I can know if that person is ignoring me or if they're bad at reading chat, because I've come to decipher a few streamers that I ended up having a falling with because of like that body language, because they were reading the chat of everyone out loud. They read mine with their eyes and they ignored it. So I was like, well, yeah, that's where it comes into use. So yeah.
Sounds like a different form of
Yeah.
empath abilities.
I also
Because I'm an empath.
Same
so.
here, because like I am highly, highly alert, and I really beat myself down whenever I feel like someone's upset, either at me or at something I've done.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm always like super aware of everything that I'm doing, making sure that I wouldn't be upset by it, because I'm hard to get to like show that I'm upset, but I'm fairly easy to make upset.
Yeah.
Like not like angry, but like hurt. So I'm always like highly aware of, okay, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? And then if I would feel good or okay about it, then I'll do it. But it's kind of a pain because, you second guess every freaking move you make.
Yeah, same. Especially when there's like, when you're built on communication and there's lack of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I work with communication.
I am far more communicative than most of the other people in my life.
Yeah.
With the exception of, and this is weird because my brother's actually pretty quiet, with the exception of my brother, because he and I are super chatty, but also kind of share a brain. So we're super chatty with each other, but we don't actually have to tell each other what's going on for us to understand each other, which is why if I get to the point where I'm big enough and need like a social media manager, I will be hiring my brother.
Okay. So what's your definition of success?
Making a difference in other people's lives.
100%. Okay, the next questions are food related. What is your favorite drink of choice?
Coffee.
What's the weirdest food you've ever had?
When I was a little girl and completely obsessed with the Teenage Mutant Mutant Ninja Turtles.
TMNT.
I put chocolate, yeah, TMNT. I put chocolate syrup on pepperoni pizza and ate it like that because I wanted to be like Mikey.
Aw. Yeah, some I have a weird food combination that I love, and it's ketchup on rice.
That doesn't sound that bad.
I know some people get grossed out of it, and I tell them like, well, one big celebrity from today puts pickle juice on her popcorn, and when they ask who it is, I tell them Selena Gomez of all people. Like,
Aw,
she has to go and ruin that with pickle
she's
juice.
the cutest little thing.
I know.
I don't like popcorn. I don't mind it, but I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Yeah,
Pickle juice, if she's using normal pickle juice, that snack would kill me
yeah.
because I am deathly allergic to dillweed.
Oh my god, same. I cannot have normal because mom pickles other things. I do not like the pattern or the palette of the cucumber. So I have something called Armenian cucumber, which is like more curly, more wavy, and a little bit lighter green colored, you know? So I hate the taste of cucumbers. I do eat them with salads because it's a different pattern, it's a different texture, but eating them raw, I hate it. And
I actually personally like them. I just can't eat dillweed with anything,
Yeah.
or I will have to be hospitalized.
I thought I was the only one, or I felt weird at some point about having that allergy, but then mom pickles other stuff like turnips, for example. She doesn't use dillweed with it. She uses like other things that you can pickle with, like vinegar
Right.
or those. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love pickled turnips, especially with
I can eat-
falafel.
I can eat like bread and butter chips. I can eat like sweet pickles. I can eat other pickled things. I just cannot eat like dill pickles or anything that has dill in it. So I have to be really careful with like potato salads and pasta salads that are pre-made or that I don't know the ingredients of because that often has like dill pickles or dill weed in it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Stroganoff.
Oh, yum. I love that. Especially like the mushrooms when they're dipped in that stroganoff sauce or cream. It just tastes different with the chicken and the rice.
Yeah.
Wow. Mine would probably be either maybe carrots or pineapple pizza.
Like for me, it used to be tacos, but now I have really bad like acid reflux. So I would be in agony if all I ate was tacos. I have to be careful about eating tacos.
Okay, so you're in the States, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite or a traditional food from that state you're in? You don't have to cite the state, just say the food that you want to introduce people to.
Huckleberry jam.
What's that?
Huckleberry jam.
Oh, huckleberry. I was like, pickleberry, what?
No, huckleberry is big in the state that I'm in.
Okay. I've never had huckleberry.
If you're asking about the state that I grew up in, it would be seafood.
Oh,
like-
interesting.
A lot of seafood from where I grew up.
Yeah, it's near the coast, I assume.
Yeah, it's the Seattle area. I won't say the specific town, but it's near Seattle.
Okay. Okay, I think I have an idea which state, but I'm not gonna say. All right.
Everybody's gonna get it easy on that one. It's the biggest city in that state.
So this is the segment where we test your gaming knowledge. So if you have a notebook or a piece of paper, make sure to grab it because I'm gonna give you. We're gonna play a game actually. Have you heard of Kill, Marry, Sleep With?
No.
It's a game where basically, like, I give you 3 names. You tell me which one you'd kill, which one you'd marry, which one you'd sleep with. I'm doing this with games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So in this mini game, I will name a set of 3 games each time. You will have to tell me which one you'd play and keep forever, which one you'd delete from existence and it's gone for everyone to a point of no return, wiped out of everybody's memory. No one has any way of going back to it or remembering it. It just ceases to exist. Or uninstall. By uninstall, I mean like you either choose to play it and finish it. It's there, but you cannot go back to it. Or just try it for a bit. If you like it, you play it. If you don't, you just abandon it. It's called play, delete, uninstall.
Sounds good.
This also includes the whole franchise.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna do the horror edition tonight. Only horror games. But you have 3 jokers that allow you to delete either all of the games during one of the questions or keep all of them. You cannot, let's say, uninstall 2 or keep 2 and delete 1, delete 2 and keep 1, etc. You're also free to skip any of these if you feel stuck or blank out on one. 3 jokers.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, Dying Light.
Well, Dead Island I've actually wanted to try, so Dead Island would probably be in the keep. What were the other 2? Dead Island, Left 4 Dead would be uninstall, and then the third one would be the delete.
Okay. So considering the first one isn't quite a horror game, but it falls underneath the horror elements at some points, the Fallout series, Dead Space, and Mass Effect.
Yes, I type them down so I don't forget them. Let's see here. Fallout would absolutely be in the keep.
Okay.
I've actually got Fallout games in my inventory that I haven't played yet.
Nice. Okay.
You know, we're gonna use the Joker and keep them all.
Okay. Okay. So you're keeping all. First Joker used.
Yes.
All right. Alan Wake, Resident Evil, and The Evil Within.
Ooh. Dang it. Evil Within for keep.
Okay.
Resi for uninstall, and unfortunately Alan Wake would go in the delete, even though I'm kind of interested in that one, but not nearly as much with the other 2.
Fair enough. The Forest, The Quarry, DayZ.
The Forest would have to be in the keep because I've got so many freaking hours in that's not even funny. Daisy, and what was the other one?
The Quarry.
The Quarry. We'll go with delete on the Quarry and keep for Daisy.
Okay.
Or is uninstall for Daisy.
Uninstall for DayZ, yeah. Dead Rising, The Mortuary Assistant, and The Walking Dead.
Mortuary Assistant's gonna have to go in the keep again because that's again another game I've gone back to over and over again.
Okay.
I've got a significant amount of time in that game already. Walking Dead is one that I've desperately wanted to play, but because it's a story-based game, the likelihood of me going back to it afterwards is lower, so we'll go uninstall. And then Dead Rising would have to go into the delete.
Yeah, and when I say Walking Dead, I don't only mean the Telltale Games series. There's also standoff or standalone games as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the VR one, but my kids have somehow managed to make it so I can't currently use my VR headset. So I was going to play that game on stream, but now I can't.
Oh wow. Okay. Dead by Daylight, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the movie. Oh, sorry, the game. Well, it's based on the movie.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre for keep.
Okay.
I have no idea what the Killer Clown one is. I've never seen it, so we'd have to go delete. And unfortunately, as much as Dead by Daylight annoys the shit out of me, I'd have to put it in the uninstall, because my kid frickin' loves it, so he expects me to play it with him at some point.
I hate / love it. It's torture for my soul. And I'm enjoying it lately, though, even though I've been called a few slurs here and there in the past, and I've like abandoned it. But I really enjoy it with friends.
I will only play those kinds of games in a like controlled group, and which is why I haven't played Dead by Daylight like much at all, or Among Us, because I can never get a full enough group for those two games to actually play them. Because I've played Among Us multiple times, but I can normally only gather 4 to 5 people, and that doesn't make for a very fun Among Us game. But I also can't get a full crew for Dead by Daylight.
Since you mentioned Among Us, Lethal Company, content warning.
Well, considering Among Us is one I only play because other people want to play it, and not so much because I'm actually interested in it, that would go in the delete.
Okay.
Lethal has to go in keep as another one of those games that I've got a crap ton of hours in. And then content warning would have to go in the uninstall because I like it, but Lethal does so much better on YouTube.
Okay. So the next ones are Visage or Visage. We have Five Nights at Freddy's and Madison.
Visage is going in keep. Madison is going to go in the uninstall because I would absolutely enjoy playing that. And what was the last one again?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is a pain in the fucking ass. Delete it.
Have you seen or played in what's it called? Security Breach?
I've seen it, and that one does look like it's probably the least annoying of the group.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a mascot horror fan.
Okay.
Kids love it, but I don't.
Yeah. So these are technically, some of them have some spooky aspect to them, but they're not like, they're dark games. Don't Starve Together, Cult of the Lamb, and Oxygen Not Included.
Oh. Now I'm keeping them all.
Okay, second Joker used. Nice. So we have Little Nightmares, the Alien series, and Silent Hills.
I have a feeling because the Alien series games are often the scariest out of them. Even though I haven't played one of them, those would be the ones I'd want to keep. Little Nightmare would go into the uninstall, and I prefer Resi to Silent Hill, so Resi can go. Or not Resi, but Silent Hill can go. Even though I would like the series, but like Little Nightmares, I've played through every game and then stopped, and I would desperately love to play Alien in VR.
Okay.
I heard this like the scariest thing, and I can't wait.
Okay. So kind of the final 3 in this first part of the gaming segment. We have A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead. We have 7 Days to Die, and we have The Last of Us.
7 Days is going and keep. Another one of those that I've got a significant amount of time in, and once they put it out in full, I got desperately addicted to it for months.
Yeah.
Last of Us is one that I desperately want to play, but again, it's a story-based game, so it would likely be played once and then set aside, so we'll uninstall that and then delete Quiet Place.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, now it is part 2 of the game. It's called Rename the Game. Rename the Game. The goal of this mini game consists of like simply changing one word from the game title. We're gonna take turns on doing that within 2 minutes. Like, let's say, for example, the word is bean. Let's say, for example, I would say Alan Bean, as in Alan Wake. You would say Grand Theft Bean. I would say Bean Flipper, for example. It's all improvised. We each have to think of a game name and modify it until the time runs out. I may extend the time, but if one of us calls the other on a game that we've said, then that person that said the game that's been said loses. Otherwise, we'll see who the last person that says the name of a game at the end of the time will be the winner. Today's word
Okay.
is friend, because you say that a lot.
I do say friend a lot.
Yes. I will start with friend guys.
Friends not included.
Don't friends together.
Friendophobia.
Star Wars Jedi, Friends Order.
Friend watchers.
7 Days to Friend.
This friend of mine.
Friend Simulator.
Detroit become friend.
The Friend Cylinder.
For the friend 2.
This might sound dark, but Dead Friend, which is Dead Space.
Finito friend.
Sid Meier's Friend 6.
Friend tower.
Dying Friend.
YouTuber's friend.
Assassin's Creed Friend.
Friend warning.
Dead by Friend.
Cult of the friend.
Damn it, I was gonna say it. The Friend Scroll series.
Inside the friend.
Friend 4, or Fallout 4, actually. But Friend 4.
Project friend.
The Friend of Us.
Friend's contract.
Kingdom Friends.
Son of the friends.
The Friends, which is the forest.
Psycho friend for Psycho Fear, which is one of my co-op games.
Okay, Gears of Friend.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. Abandoned Friends.
And this is about all the time we have for this game. And you win. You win this game. So here is the final segment, which is where it can get a little bit like dark for some of you listeners out there, because we've spoken about a lot of dark and morbid topics in the past. We will be talking today about a lot of some life experiences that a gamer mom has been through. And just to let you know, guys, this isn't a very easy subject to go through. When I asked her, she said she's got childhood sexual abuse, loss of a child, long-term emotional and mental abuse at the hands of her ex-husband before she finally got away from him. She lost her firstborn back in 2005 from prematurity complications. She also said that she does charity stream every April to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House charity in her honor, which one of my friends streams, and every gifted sub or every sub goes to that charity. He does not.
Very nice.
He does not get anything of the bits or the subs. Even if he gets the payout for the bits, it goes to that charity.
I am very impressed with that.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
He's over in Canada as well. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Those are our little brothers. The
Yeah.
US's little brother, Canada.
So all of these mentioned topics, if you guys feel a little bit uncomfortable or you think that might be dark for you, you're more than welcome to shut off the podcast at this point, or just listen along. It's always nice to know, kind of like I've never said it, but I said this segment just to know a little bit more about the person. It doesn't have to get personal though, but I feel like this is an open space to shed a light about some experiences that others might have gone through, others might relate to, because I've got a lot of feedback in the past saying that Oh, I related to that, and I loved the mental health segment. Even though I cried my eyes out at some point, but I really enjoyed it because I clicked with it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let Gamer Mom tell her story. So segment's all yours.
All right. When I was a kid, it started when I was 7, which is why I said that like after the age of 35 was what I would pick to keep as an age. When I was 7 years old, my uncle sexually abused me, and he was caught by my mother when she came home from work early one day, and after he was very unceremoniously thrown out, and was never allowed back, his wife, which is my mom's youngest sister, chose to plead him over. Well, she picked him over me, even though I hadn't actually said anything. She said I was lying. I hadn't said anything. My mom had literally walked in on him. But because of that, when my cousin, one of my older cousins, started sexually abusing me, I didn't let anyone find out because I was worried that my mom would lose another sister, because my cousin's mother was my mom's other sister. So I stayed very quiet about it, and he wound up abusing me for nearly 5 years. I was raped when I was 13, and luckily the rest of my teenage years were fairly normal, other than the fact that from all of the abuse before, I wound up in a lot of just like self-destructive habits. I drank from a very young age. I started abusing drugs at like 11 and started smoking at 13. But as I got older, all of that, except for the smoking, kind of died down some, to the point where I won't do any drugs unless they're prescribed to me for a specific reason. And I rarely drink. I think literally the last drink I had was on Christmas, and it was a single drink, and that was it. And it was the first one I'd had in like a year and a half. I do still smoke cigarettes. It's a lot harder to drop than the rest of it all. But up until I was like almost 21 when I met my best friend's ex-boyfriend's older brother, who was significantly older than our friend group, because our friend group, my best friend was 19. The guy she had been dating and had just broken up with was 17. Like, I was 20 at the time, so we were all like old teenagers, young adults. And Randy was 33 and decided to take an interest in me. That is the guy who is the father of my children. And our firstborn, a little girl named Emily, passed away at 7 days old from necrotizing enterocolitis, which is basically where the intestinal tract starts to die inside of the body. And it hit her so hard and fast that she was fine the night before, started having trouble in the morning, and before noon we'd lost her.
Yeah.
Randy is also the one who was highly controlling and manipulative and used a lot of guilt tripping and gaslighting to keep me in check. And then when the kids were born, would use them to make me stay as well. And I wasn't able to get away from him we started dating in like 2003 until Chop Chop was 10. And he was born in 2007, so that would have been 2017 that I was finally able to get away from him.
Sorry. Going back to that recently, like with life as it is right now with technology and everything, like, do you ever feel like there might be someone in your family that might have those traits? Probably like, because I said technology because like I've kind of dealt with some of these issues, not the morbid ones, but like there was a lot of bothersome people now. They ended up at some point becoming just bothersome virtually, like electronically. So I had to distance myself from them, from all the kinds. Like, how does that affect you nowadays? Like going back or thinking, like, do you still have that trauma surrounding you?
I have CPTSD. I was diagnosed with CPTSD, and I've had anxiety and depression issues basically since I was abused by my uncle. But I've managed to get quite a lot, actually, of like coping mechanisms. So I've often had people be surprised at the amount of, mental diagnoses I've had, because I'm generally a happy, upbeat, fairly energetic person. But it's still there. It's in the background, and it probably always will be.
Yeah. And can you tell me a little bit about the Ronald McDonald House charity as well? Like, what is it a charity for exactly? Enlighten people. What does it do? How did you decide on choosing that specific charity to donate to?
The Ronald McDonald House charity is a charity that focuses on keeping families together when children are in the hospital. And they actually rented a hotel room. Well, it wasn't a hotel room. It was kind of like one of those temporary apartments. So it's like a little more than a hotel room, but it's still like pretty basic. And it's already furnished for us to stay in because Emily was about 30-minute drive from us, and they were trying to make it easier for us to stay close to her, especially with me because I was breastfeeding.
Okay.
And that's why because they actually helped me when Emily was alive. They're the ones that I focus on for my charity.
Okay. All right. So I know that was kind of short for a segment, but regardless of that, thank you so much, Gamer Mom, for being a part of this podcast. We've been planning it for like probably a month or so now.
Yeah, my problem is that my physical health took a dive, so then I've been trying to build myself back up physically.
Understandable. So guys, check her out on Twitch. Check her out on YouTube. On Twitch is the episode handle. It's AGamerMom. On YouTube, same handle? Maybe?
Except for with exclamation point at the end.
So it's one word, AGamerMom, or A space gamer space mom?
Oh, it's all one word, AGamerMom00 exclamation point.
Okay. Why the exclamation point though?
And that because the other one was taken. Let's throw something else in there.
Of course. Of course. It's one was taken on Twitch, and then this one is taken on YouTube. So there's a loop.
Well, a Gamer Mom was just taken, period, and a AGamerMom00 exclamation point was what I chose first, because YouTube was my first. And then I just didn't want to switch it too much from there with every subsequent social media platform. So I'm trying to stick with the same basic thing.
Okay, fair enough. Go check her out. I don't think she has consistent schedule or something, but please, whenever you get the chance or whenever you see her live, give her a follow, hang out in her chats, redeem meows, redeem hi, I'm new, which is one redeem I love redeeming.
You're not new.
I mean, if you add a B to it, I'm noob. So basically, that's all the time we have. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you again, Gamer Mom, for providing some of your time to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
And I will catch you guys in the next episode, which is probably either episode 77 or episode 78, because 76 is probably next episode will be 77 or 79, because 77 is already taken by someone. But I will see you when I see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.